Next, our next important part that we are going to do is your Coulomb's inverse square law, magnetic field, magnetic lines of force, all that stuff. But I want you to do a comparison. Okay, keep in mind. Okay, what is that I want you to keep in mind? I will tell you. Now, I will discuss everything in detail. Don't worry. If you have 2 point charges Q1 and Q2, okay, at some distance R, okay, here you will have poles. In magnetism, you will have poles M1, M2 like this at some distance R. Here you will have electrical permeability. You will write your force as 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 by R square. Here your magnetic force between two poles. Like poles they will repel, unlike poles they will attract. Same, that force will act along line joining the charges. Everything is same, entire story. But here you will write mu naught by 4 pi M1 M2 by R square. Now, if medium is considered, okay, this is in air or vacuum. In air or vacuum, you will write this formula. In a medium, your electric force is given as 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught E relative times Q1 Q2 by R square. Here, your magnetic force will become mu naught mu relative times by 4 pi times M1 M2 by R square. Okay, almost same logic, same definitions, everything is same. Okay, so please do not think it is something new, but it is something very well known to you previously only. Okay, even in field part everything same. Okay, so you try to relate with electric dipoles on the axial line 2 kp by d cube, you write it. Here mu naught by 4 pi into 2m by d cube, axial line. Equatorial line minus kp by d cube. Here it is mu naught by 4 pi into m by d cube. Torque, energy, same. Entire electric dipoles you will repeat here as such. Okay, so now in this lecture we are going to do that comparative study and then do the calculations. Now your first and foremost important point is, okay, in today's class your first topic is Coulomb's inverse square law. Okay, I don't need to explain this, but still I will do it. Coulomb's inverse square law, like how you have, okay, Coulomb's inverse square law for which one? Electrostatics. In electrostatics, what is that we are doing? You have a charge Q1, you have one more charge Q2 like this. Now, what is happening? Field of 2 causes force on 1. Field of 1 causes force on 2. Almost same mechanism, everything is same. Similar logic we will do it even here. You have a pole strength, a pole of M1, another pole of M2. Okay, basically you have two poles. Okay, M1 and M2 placed at some distance R like this. Okay, now your force is, okay, your force is directly proportional to M1 M2. Your force is inversely proportional to d square. Okay, here what is that we are doing? This is your magnetic force. In electrostatics, what is that we have done? Your electrostatic force we are doing Q1 Q2 by R square, inversely proportional to R square. It is proportionality constant, you are keeping it as K, which is 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 by R square. Doing the same, your magnetic force is, okay, mu naught by 4 pi into M1 M2 by d square. Okay, this force, okay, I need space, but I hope by this time you must have understood both are same. Okay, so to write some extra points, okay, what I'll be doing is, okay, I'll be utilizing this space. So anyhow, you know that, what is it, you know, like poles repel, unlike poles attract, like poles repel, unlike poles attract. Okay, and your magnetic force is mu naught by 4 pi m1 m2 by r square. Now in this, your mu naught is permeability of free space or air. Okay, free space in the sense vacuum. Okay, and this mu naught value is 4 pi into 10 power minus 7, okay, Henry per meter. How this Henry per meter comes, everything I tell you, okay, or your unit is Weber by ampere meter. How it comes, don't worry, I will tell you, or Newton per ampere square. Okay, right? So permeability, this is your magnetic permeability. Like electric permeability we are defining as ability to allow electric field lines. Magnetic permeability is kind of ability to allow magnetic field lines. Okay, so this formula is in air or vacuum. Okay, in medium, okay, in medium, okay, with mu relative given, okay, relative magnetic permeability in a medium, if it is known, your relative magnetic permeability is mu naught mu relative by 4 pi into m1 m2 by d square. Okay, right? This is your final value. Okay, for air or vacuum, this is 1 for air or vacuum. If not, you have to consider that particular value. And this formula is valid only for point dipoles. In reality, you will not have magnetic monopoles. Okay, valid for point, okay, poles which do not exist. Okay, right, and it acts along line joining the poles, acts along the line joining the poles. Okay, with this you must have understood this basic ideas. Okay, all right, now let's continue further. Okay, your next thing is, okay, this is your basic inverse square law. On this also there will be basic points, you will be able to do it. Anyhow, I will give you some basic problems on everything. Okay, we are not going to leave anything. For every lecture that I explain, simultaneously there will be a problem solving session also. Okay, but everything I cannot provide for free, because nothing comes for free even to me. So I'll try my best, but however I cannot do that. So next, now your next thing is, okay, your magnetic field. Represented by symbol B bar. Unit I have discussed previously, but still Tesla is SI unit. CGS unit is Gauss. 1 Tesla is 10 power 4 Gauss. This is CGS unit. Okay, right? Now let us try to calculate magnetic field. Now if you have a point charge, okay, how you are defining your electric field means you will place plus 1 coulomb charge here. If you have watched my videos, on plus 1 coulomb charge your direction, your field is a vector. You will write kq by r square is the field direction on this plus 1 coulomb. If it is negative charge minus q, you will keep plus 1 coulomb charge here. Negative charge will attract this way. Your E bar is kq by r square. Its direction is towards left. Its direction is towards right. This you must have studied in your electrostatics because of point charges. Now, when more than one charges are there, Q1, Q2, Q3 are present in the system, what is it you are doing? Your resultant electric field is E1 bar plus vector sum, E2 bar plus E3 bar plus so on up to En bar, right? This is what you are doing in, okay, electrostatics. Now I told you your north pole is similar to positive charge. So if you have a north pole, on unit north pole, okay, on unit north pole, what is the field means? Your field B is, your K is 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught in electrostatics. Here it instead of K you have your proportionality constant as mu naught by 4 pi into m by r square. This, if this is north pole, this north pole will repel it, so direction is towards right. If it is south pole, okay, it is north pole. Because of poles you will have magnetic field. If it is because of south pole, okay, what is your value means? Okay, if it is plus 1 unit north pole, okay, I mean plus 1 is unit north pole. This north pole will be attracted this way. So your magnetic field is mu naught by 4 pi into m by r square. Direction is towards left. When there are many poles m1, m2, m3 like this, so your principle of superposition, what it says is your resultant magnetic field is B1 plus B2 plus B3 plus so on up to Bn. Okay, right? Come on, copy this stuff down. Okay, but individual monopoles do not exist. Okay, keep in mind. Okay, usually monopoles do not exist. Usually magnetic monopoles do not exist, but still if questions come, this is what you are supposed to do. Okay, all right, hope you have understood it, you have copied it down and there are no doubts. Okay, right, next, hope you have copied it down. I am continuing further. Your next one is your magnetic field due to bar magnet on axis R end on position. On the axis R end on position. This is south pole, this is north pole. So that means indirectly it is minus m, it is plus m. So axial line, this is your point P. Let us say your magnetic length is 2L. From here to here the distance is D. Now we will apply your similar mechanism. Okay, what is that similar mechanism? How you have done for electric dipole. Okay, if you place unit north pole here, okay, then because of north pole, okay, if it is, this is 1 and this is 2, B because of north pole is, okay, B1, that is mu naught by 4 pi into pole strength is m by d minus L whole square, direction is towards right. Okay, because North pole will repel north pole. Next, south pole will attract it. BR because of south pole is mu naught by 4 pi into m by d plus l whole square. I don't need to keep minus sign once again because negative sign is taken care in the direction. Okay, so I will write that point as well. Negative sign is taken care in direction. I don't need to write it once again. Okay, now your resultant magnetic field, your B resultant is, okay, your B resultant is B bar because of north pole plus B bar because of south pole. So with the directions you have to consider. So that will give you how much means mu naught by 4 pi into, right, I will keep it as positive. So m by d minus l whole square minus mu naught by 4 pi into this much I cap minus mu naught by 4 pi into m by d plus l whole square I cap. This is towards left, so that is why I am keeping minus sign. So take this mu naught m by 4 pi out. So you are going to get 1 by d minus l whole square minus 1 by d plus l whole square into I cap. So 1 by a minus 1 by b minus a by a minus b. So if you simplify this, so in this step you are going to get mu naught m by 4 pi into d plus l whole square minus d minus l whole square means it is 4dl by d square minus l square whole square into I cap. Now observe very carefully. Okay, I am going to rearrange this term. Okay, so your resultant magnetic field is, okay, mu naught 2 times, okay, or else I will keep proportionality constant aside. So mu naught by 4 pi times 2 times d into small m into 2l into I cap by d square minus l square whole square. Now observe very carefully. Look at this m into 2l into I cap. I cap direction means it is along positive x axis, it is towards right. Pole strength into length means m into 2l is your magnetic moment m. Okay, so that will give you, okay, that will give you how much means, okay, it is mu naught by 4 pi into 2d into magnetic moment is 2m bar by d square minus l square whole square. Okay, sorry, m into 2l is not 2m, it is just simply 2. So your final resultant magnetic moment is on the axial line. Okay, your end result is, it is similar to electric dipole, mu naught by 4 pi into 2m bar into dy d square minus l square whole square. This is your result, very very important, you remember this result. Now if bar magnet is short, okay, short bar magnet, what will happen? D is very much, D is very much greater than L. So d square minus L square can be written as d square. So that will give you B on axial line is mu naught by 4 pi into 2m by dq. Okay, so this is your final answer. Okay, so short bar magnet, in the books this will be used, but correct result is this, and I told you previously and I will keep telling and again, remember this result. Okay, and it is your B direction is in the direction of magnetic moment. Okay, on axial line or end on position. Okay, right, now we will move ahead to the next case. Alright, now next we will continue your magnetic field on, okay, your B bar on equatorial line or you can call it as, okay, B bar on equatorial line, or you can say perpendicular bisector, or it is also called as broadside on position. Broadside on position. So all these actually mean the same. You have your bar magnet here, somewhere here. This bar magnet has south pole here, north pole here. That is indirectly I will keep it as minus m plus m. Okay. Now at this point you are supposed to give the field. So you are, because of positive field this way, this distance is d, this is l. This distance is r equal to under root d square plus l square. Because of negative one, it will be acting this way. Negative unit north pole will be attracted, okay, so by the south pole, and your north pole will repel the unit north pole. So B minus is this way. Now here also the distance will be r. So it is mu naught by 4 pi into pole strength m by r square. Here also it is mu naught m by 4 pi into r square. And don't forget that, okay, your negative sign is taken care in the direction. Okay, so negative sign is taken care in the direction. Okay, now here basically what is that, you have two vectors. This angle, if it is theta, okay, this angle also will be theta only. So this will be theta, so this will be theta. So you have two vectors like this of equal magnitudes, B1, B2, or B because of north pole, B because of south pole, making some angle theta, theta like this. Now here if you write in terms of I cap and j cap and then add it, vertical components will cancel off, only horizontal components will remain. So B resultant bar is, actually you should write it in terms of north pole plus south pole. But anyhow, okay, as I have discussed, vertical components will cancel off. When vertical components will cancel off, you are going to get minus 2 times B into sin theta. If you are assuming this as some B, this will become B. I mean this is also B. So minus 2B sin theta. So your resultant magnetic moment, B resultant, is minus I cap. Okay, it is along negative x-axis. So minus 2 times, what is mu? Mu naught by 4 pi into m by r square times, okay, that much is your B, times sin theta I cap. What is sin theta? Opposite side. This part is L, this part is L. So L by R. Sin theta can be replaced with L by R. So that will become mu naught m 2L by R cube into minus I cap. 2 I have brought it inside. Okay. 2 I am bringing it inside like this. So your final resultant magnetic moment is minus mu naught by 4 pi into, okay, it is minus m bar because m into 2L into I cap. Okay, this part that you are looking at, this m 2L I cap is there, no? That part that you have, okay, it is m bar by, okay, r cube. So that is your resultant magnetic field. Okay, right? So minus mu naught by 4 pi into m by r cube. Okay, so here direction of field is opposite to, direction of field is opposite to magnetic moment. Okay, right? Now this you can rearrange and write it as minus mu naught by 4 pi into m bar by r cube is how much means it is d square plus l square whole power 1 by 2. So overall this will become 3 by 2. Okay, for short dipole, okay, this result you have to remember. Okay, remember this result. Okay, short dipole a subcase is there. Okay, in short dipole d square plus l square is equivalent to d square, so that will give you your b bar is, okay, b bar on equatorial line is mu naught by 4 pi into m bar by d cube. Okay, so remember this result. Okay, right? So this is your basic idea. Okay, all right, now let's continue. Okay, so at some general point for short dipole we will try to calculate the same. Okay, at some general point for short dipole. Okay, b bar at general point for short dipole. Why short dipole? I will tell you. Because if it is long, okay, then you don't have a choice. Your point minus m will be this way, plus m will be this way. You have to write, take the directions and then keep it accordingly. That means your because of negative thing, okay, because of negative thing, your field will be this way. B bar because of negative part, B bar because of positive part, it will be this way. Sorry, repulsion, B positive is this way. Add this in terms of I gap and J gap and then get the resultant. Okay, it appears as if it is easy, but this length, that length, considering geometry, everything becomes very complicated part. Okay, so that is why we define at some general point for short dipole. So now here if you are taking the bar magnet, okay, this part is south pole. Okay, this part is south pole, this part is north pole. This part is, this length is L, this length is L. Okay, now if this angle is theta and if this distance is d, what is that I can do is, for my convenience sake, your magnetic moment M, which is present this way, can be resolved into M sin theta this way and M cos theta this way. This is your parallel component and this is your perpendicular component. Okay, I am resolving my magnetic moment into two parts. Now at this point P, your point P is on axial line for this one. So on the axial line, what is your formula means? Okay, it is B axial is, we have seen it is mu naught times 2m parallel by distance is d cube. So that will give you mu naught into 2m cos theta by d cube. And for the perpendicular part, okay, for m sin theta magnet, it is on equatorial line. Equatorial line, it is opposite to dipole moment. So B equatorial is, it will be in this direction. So it is mu naught times, it is m sin theta by d cube. Your equatorial line or perpendicular bisector, what you call is up to you. Your B resultant is, okay, under root B parallel square plus B perpendicular square, that is equal to under root, okay, mu naught m by d cube, okay, if you take common out, whole square times 4 cos square theta plus sin square theta. If you rearrange 1 sin square theta plus cos square theta, that will become 1 mu naught m by d cube times under root 1 plus 3 cos square theta. So this is going to be your final magnetic moment. Now excuse me, to check whether this is correct or not, okay, what is that you can do is, your subcase 1, theta equal to 0, axial line, you check, you will be getting B bar on axial line as, for short magnet it is mu naught by 4 pi into 2m by dq. If theta is equal to 90 degrees, it will become equatorial line. B bar on equatorial line is mu naught by 4 pi into m by dq. Okay, right? So this is what you have. Okay, all right. Now with this, your general ideas are done, and it is exactly similar to your electric dipoles. Okay, you can watch the electrical dipole moment and then get to understand. Now coming to your resultant, these two are exactly perpendicular. If this angle is alpha, tan alpha is equal to, coming to your direction of resultant magnitude is this much. Tan alpha is equal to B perpendicular by B parallel. So that will give you tan alpha is equal to tan theta by 2 if you substitute and simplify. Exactly similar to your electric dipole. Okay, right? Hope you have understood this, you have copied it down, and there are no doubts. And if you have any doubts, just keep letting me know. Okay, right? Now next, let us try to calculate your magnetic moment for simple basic configurations. Let me write the summary of what I have explained so far in this lecture. Okay. Now in electrostatics, if you have electric dipole minus q and plus q, okay, your electric dipole moment P bar is represented by q times 2L. Its direction is from negative to positive charge. If you have a magnetic dipole that is from south pole to north pole plus m like this, if this length is 2L, your magnetic dipole moment is m times 2L. Its direction is from south to north. Point number 1. Next, if you take an electric dipole minus q plus q on the axial line, okay, if this distance is L and L, okay, so at distance, if it is d from the center, E bar on axial line is 2 kp bar into dy d square minus L square whole square. For short dipole, this result is going to become 2 kp bar by d cube is your resultant electric field. Now if you take the same for bar magnet, okay, so magnetic is nothing but your bar magnet. So this is minus m, this is plus m, this is your south pole and this is your north pole. So your magnetic field on axial line is mu naught by 4 pi into 2 times m bar into d by d square minus L square whole square. Okay, so this is what you got for magnetic field on the axial line. So in this case, for short bar magnet, okay, for short bar magnet, your magnetic field on axial line is mu naught by 4 pi times 2 into m bar by d cube. Okay, similarly for equatorial line, B bar on equatorial line is minus, here you are going to get it as minus 2 k p bar, okay, by, okay, not 2k, it is just simply k, minus kp bar by d square plus L square whole power 3 by 2, minus kp bar by d square plus L square whole power 3 by 2 is what you are going to get it for equatorial line. So exactly similar thing, you are going to get it as mu naught by 4 pi into m bar by, on the equatorial line it is m bar by d square plus L square whole power 3 by 2. Okay, direction is opposite, negative. Okay, it is opposite to, okay, magnetic moment. Okay, right? Next, at general point, okay, at general point, okay, at the general point, at some general point, your resultant E resultant is kp by d cube into under root 1 plus 3 cos square theta. Similar to that, okay, here you are taking a short one, so minus q plus q, your some general point is this point is d, this is theta. Exactly similar to this for a bar magnet whose south pole and north pole is this way, this distance is d and this angle is theta. Your B resultant is, okay, mu naught by 4 pi into m by under root 1 plus 3 cos square theta. So this is what you are going to get for bar magnet at some general point. Okay, right? Now in this case your resultant will be, okay, perpendicular to your axial line will be this way, your equatorial line will be this way, resultant will be this way. Okay, so parallel component and perpendicular component which you are calling it, and your resultant value is that much, and this angle tan alpha will be equal to tan theta by 2. Okay, so this is your parallel component, this is your perpendicular component. Okay, so like this we can define the basic entities. Now next, your next part is, okay, how you are defining electric potential. We can also define magnetic potential due to bar magnet. Your next heading is magnetic potential due to bar magnet. Okay, so if you have a charge plus q, your electric potential you are giving it as, it is a scalar quantity kq by r. Negative charge, because potential is a scalar, we are keeping minus kq by r. When there are multiple charges q1, q2, q3 like this, you will take sum of potentials, but you will do scalar addition. Exactly same thing you will be doing even for magnetic poles. Okay, your magnetic potential will also be exactly similar. Okay, so coming to your magnetic potential, okay, now like how we are defining, okay, potentials. If it is a unit north pole, okay, first is, if it is a unit north pole at some distance r, this is some point p, at point p your potential is mu naught by 4 pi into m by r. If it is minus m at some distance r at this point p, your potential is minus mu naught by 4 pi into m by r. Okay, and if it is a dipole configuration, that is your south pole and north pole, if it is there, then we have to apply your principle of superposition of potential. Okay, so that I will explain in the next slide. Okay, you can copy this thing down. Okay, all these are just basic definitions. Okay, instead of that proportionality constant, what is that you are going to get is, in electrostatics it is 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught, here it is mu naught by 4 pi. Okay, copy this stuff down. So now your magnetic potential on axial line, your magnetic potential on axial line so this is your south pole, this is your north pole. Okay, from here to here, let us say the distance is d, this length it is L, this length also it is L. Obviously this is plus m, this is minus m. Now your potential at point P is potential because of north pole plus potential because of south pole, mu naught by 4 pi into m by d minus L is the distance, plus potential is a scalar quantity, there will be no direction, plus for south pole it is mu naught by 4 pi into minus m by d plus L. Remember, for negative sign it is a scalar quantity, it is scalar, we have to keep negative sign. Okay, right, we have to keep negative sign because in vectors negative sign is taken care in the direction, but for scalars your negative sign is not taken care in the direction. So if you simplify this, if you take mu naught m by 4 pi common, that will become 1 by d minus L plus 1 by d plus L. Okay, so that will give you mu naught m by 4 pi times d plus L plus d minus L, that is going to become 2d by d square minus L square. Okay, so now here, okay, to understand this in much better way, sorry, there is a minus sign here. Okay, so it is not this thing minus sign. If I simplify, d plus L minus d minus L, that will become 2L. So m into 2L will become mu naught into m by 4 pi times d. So because of north pole your magnetic potential is mu naught m by 4 pi into d minus L. Because of south pole, because it is a scalar quantity, I have kept a minus sign, and if you simplify, similar to exact electric dipole, you are going to get the potential. Now if it is a short dipole, your d square minus L square is equivalent to d square, that is for a short dipole d is very much greater than L. So your potential at point P is mu naught m by 4 pi into d square. Okay, right? So this is your magnetic potential on the axial line. Okay, all right. Now let's move ahead. Next is your magnetic potential on Kadukura. Next, your magnetic potential on equatorial line of bar magnet. Now if you have a bar magnet, okay, if you have a bar magnet, if this pole is south pole and if this is north pole, if this distance is d, this is L and this is L, your potential at this point is, okay, because of positive north pole it is plus m, because of south pole it is minus m. Your distance is for both it is same, your r is under root d square plus L square. So your potential is because of north pole plus because of south pole. Because of north pole it is, okay, it is mu naught by 4 pi into m by r plus because of south pole it is mu naught by 4 pi into minus m by r, plus minus will cancel off, your answer is going to become 0. Okay, so in the broad on side position your value of potential is 0. Okay, right? Next, coming to at some general point, okay, coming to general point, okay, what will usually people do is, okay, they will divide. So this part is going to become m sin theta, this part is going to become m cos theta, this angle is theta. So this is your south pole, this is your north pole of the magnet. So at this point if you are considering the potential, okay, so because of m cos theta potential is, potential on axial line for a short dipole it is how much, means mu naught by 4 pi into m cos theta by d square. Because of this perpendicular component it is anyhow 0. On the equatorial line your potential is 0. At some general point you can give the answer as this much. Okay, but trust me, this will be anyhow very small. So you need to be very precise in doing the calculation. Okay, so it's just a general value, that's all, nothing else is more in this part. Okay, all right, now let's move ahead, let's continue. Now let's try to do basic questions on, okay, let's try to do basic questions on magnets. So now your first question is, there is south pole here, north pole here, there is south pole here, north pole here. Okay, basically there are two magnets. One is magnet A and other is magnet B. Magnets A is magnetic moment is M, magnets B magnetic moment is 2M. Okay, now here what is the question is, okay, it is exactly midway. Okay, so your magnets are arranged somewhat like this. Now this distance is R. Okay, this distance is 2R. Okay, what is that you are supposed to do is, you are supposed to, okay, you are supposed to give magnetic field at P, okay, at the midpoint, okay, at point P, try to give the magnetic field, okay, find BP bar is your question. Okay, now try to do the answer. Okay, your BP bar is, okay, your solution logic is, you have two bar magnets, your BP bar is B1 bar plus B2 bar. That's all, very simple. Do vectorial addition because magnetic field is a vector. If potential is asked, okay, we have derived the results. We have derived the results for magnetic potentials. You can do that. Okay, come on, try this, give the answer. I will wait, no issues. So this is 1, this is 2. Choose an axis here. Give the field in terms of I cap and j cap. You will get the required answers. So your point 1 is on axial line of a bar magnet. So for, okay, assume that these are your short bar magnets. Okay, let us say in the question it is given as short bar magnets. Magnetic moment, if it is given indirectly, they are short. So because of first magnet, your magnetic field B1 is mu naught by 4 pi into 2m bar by d cube. That is indirectly I cap is the direction. I cap means towards right. Okay, next for the other magnet, okay, for the other magnet B2 is mu naught by 4 pi into, it is m dash, if its magnetic moment is m dash, so it is m by d cube, but only problem here is, okay, from here to here the distance is r, so you can write r cube, but it is minus j cap, it will be opposite to direction of magnetic moment. Okay, so because of first magnet it is upwards, because of second magnet it is downwards, so your resultant magnetic moment is mu naught by 4 pi times, okay, here your d is not the distance, r is the distance, so that is why it is r cube. So for second magnet, magnetic moment is 2m, right, so it is 2m by r cube. Okay, so your m dash by r cube you have to write, so finally you are getting 2m by r cube times I cap minus j cap. So your magnitude is under root x component square plus y component square. So your B resultant is, basically you have two vectors. One vector is downwards like this, other vector is towards right. Resultant will be in between. Both are having same magnitude, BB. So your answer is root 2 times B. So that is mu naught by 4 pi into 2m by r cube times root 2. Okay, or vectorially it is this much, magnitude wise it is this much, direction is anyhow 45 degrees with horizontal or 45 with vertical, because those two are of equal magnitude. Okay, like this you will have basic questions and you will be able to solve the basic questions. Okay, right, next let's move ahead to next example. Your next question is, you have a bar magnet. Okay, all right, so your bar magnet is this way, south pole, north pole. Okay, your magnetic moment is m1. Okay, this distance is 4d. This distance is 3d. This is some point P. Your magnetic moment here is m2. What is your question is, take mu naught m by 4 pi d cube as d. m1 is 256 m, m2 is 81 m. Question is, find magnetic field at P. Okay, so that is your question. Okay, try this. I will explain the solution. Now let's continue. So the answer to this question is, because of first one, your magnetic field is B1 equal to, it is on equatorial line, so mu naught into 4 pi into m1 by, what is the distance? 4d, it is 4d whole cube. Okay, for first magnet it is on equatorial line. For second magnet also it is on equatorial line. Your B2 is mu naught by 4 pi into m2 by, okay, 3d whole cube. So you have got B1, you have got B2. Once you have got the value of B1 and B2, your B resultant is under root B1 square plus B2 square. That is your resultant magnetic field. Once you get the resultant magnetic field, you can simplify and give the answer. So m1 it is 256, 4 cube is 64. Okay, so because 4 cube is 64, okay, and 3 cube is 27, your 64 into 4 is 256. So you are going to get this as mu naught by 4m into 4 pi by d cube, that is equal to 4b. Okay, right, it is b, not d, it is b. Okay, and this will become 3b. Your resultant is under root, because they are at an angle of 90 degrees, 3b square, 3b whole square plus 4b whole square, that will give you 5b. Your tan alpha is equal to y component by x component, that will give you 4 by 3, that is equal to 53 degrees. Okay, alright. So this is what you have, and this is your question. Okay, basic question related to this basic idea. Now okay, with this we'll stop this lecture. Okay, more problems will be followed in the problem solving session. Okay, I don't want to mix both the conceptual part and problem solving sessions. Okay, because you can do problems if you have understood the logic. It will not be tough at all. Okay, all right, now we'll continue in the next lecture. That's all for this lecture. Thank you.